All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy Sushi Friday. How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? It's a beautiful day. PCE, GDP, pretty much absolute nothing burger. An unbelievable nothing burger. So we'll see if Jolts at 10 a.m. and MCS also at 10 a.m. bring us any activity, any volatility. But taking a look at the overnight action here, let's kind of recap what has happened. Yesterday, we were considering an inside day breakdown. So that's an inside day breakdown. You want to focus on shorting or on continued weakness anyway. We did see that move. Price closed pretty much right on session lows. Looking at a 15-minute chart, overnight session does show some continuation into the weekly open and the 24,400 area of support. Remember, this is just the lower portion now of what has been a very long sideways range within a range, starting from early February. We're now mid-March. Remember that daily chart? Look at that. Nasty. Just nasty. But nonetheless, that's what we have to work with. So it is what it is, right? It is what it is. So after price test 400, buyers step in to defend that area of support. And we end up seeing a pretty nice bounce. A pretty decent bounce, about a 300-point bounce. And now price is bumping into what was a big area of resistance from yesterday's session. Remember all that resistance right through there at 700? So same type of action here. During the overnight sesh, price kind of bumps into 700 and sellers are sitting right there. I'm definitely going to be keeping a close eye on how price responds to this area right through here. I want to see if sellers are going to continue to defend this spot this morning with potentially a retest into 600, right? Maybe the prior day low, and maybe even into the overnight low. But the way I'm treating this near-term structure is that the lower portion of the range now has been tested and buyers have stepped in to defend. Price this week alone has already crossed the range 2 times. So Sunday night, Monday morning, gap lower, covers the entirety of the near-term range within 1 to 2 sessions, and then we roll over. Now we've again covered the entirety of the range. So that is range trading for you. Fun stuff. 700, the main focus. We have the monthly open right through here, 682. Overnight highs at 738. Standard hours volume point of control right here at 633. And looking at volume overnight sesh, for the most part, pretty light. You have some isolated areas of good RVol. 2 minutes till the open. We may have an open right here. An open right here would be no man's land for me. So I'm looking at either 600 or 700 as the nearest levels of interest. So let's see. Let's see, No rush this morning, as always. The goal and the objective is to respect our plan, to follow our rules, to follow our process. regardless of outcome, if we do that, if we follow our process, we can say we had a good day, right? We can consider that a good trading day. Oh, this chat's already flying. Oh, the shirt. Thanks, Ray. First time in the stream. Welcome. And 20 seconds till the open. Looks like we'll have an open right here at 6:35-ish, 6:40-ish. Okay, there's your open. Little retest of the monthly open right there, 682. It's also the extended hours value area high. So price with a small gap higher, but still within the prior day's range. So I don't consider that a true gap. And soon to be bumping into all this resistance from the prior day's session. So right in this area, right where price is, do you have the weekly value area low as well as the monthly value area low? So a lot of confluence in this 680 to 700 area. ES testing and rejecting last week's low. Staying patient. Staying patient right here. Price coming into 700, so we want to see how that 700 is going to be treated. And per usual, I need to see a nice extension above. And then a pullback, retest, signal. See if we have an entry. But so far, it's just a test and reject right at 700. With jolts and MCS at 10 a.m., I'm keeping a very close eye on volume ahead of 10 a.m. Zero opening 5-minute bar just closed with a big wick above it. And there's fresh lows for NASDAQ. Let's see how 24,600 is going to be treated. Prior day volume point of control right in this area, 613. Small uptick in volume right there. That's good to see. We love that volume. So far, a little bounce there. It's not quite close enough to 600 for me this early in the sesh. ES retesting last week's low. It's basically session high there. Waiting for the 10 a.m. to clear. Yeah, I'm in no rush here. No rush. If I see an A plus, I'll take it, but not going to force any B or B plus quality setup. Back into the monthly open, 682 extended hours value area high right through there. ES is making fresh highs on the day. Okay, good to see. Good to see. Good to see. So far below average volume. So very well just could be a kind of sideways action till 10 a.m. Sellers right there near 682 again. Best case for me right now is price clears this area with elevated relative volume. Ray, listening to Tool while trading. Yeah, that's insane, man. That is crazy. What the? That is wild. 10 a.m. isn't a strong print. Definitely is. We have Jolts and MCS at 10 a.m. Market moving. Potential to be market moving. ES fresh highs coming for that overnight high. Overnight high in ES looks like 670.25. Is that right? Yeah, 25.25 on ES. So NASDAQ getting into the highs here. Let's see how 700 is going to be treated. Note the volume. Right. Volumes below average. We talked at length yesterday in the TMG in the coaching call in the traders think tank about relative volume. So if you missed that, check the recording. It's posted. Okay. New highs being made. And price is getting into overnight high. Rich, one of the best TMGs. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm glad it was helpful. Yeah, I think we hammered on a lot of good concepts. So NASDAQ just shy of that overnight high. ES already testing overnight high up and through. There's NASDAQ following suit. So nice bounce from prior day volume point of control, right? No position, like I said. Still cash on the day. There's the volume coming in. And here we go, clearing that prior day area of resistance. That's what we like to see. Got a little retest into prior day volume point of control, just shy of the 600. Like I said, not going to force it on a morning like this. That's a good push though. ES is into prior day high. CryptoCon used the AI chat on the site to make a decision. Good deal. If you ask it to send an email or speak to a human, it'll forward right to me. Just FYI. Ray had their bet and relative volume on that 1 minute hammer. I would have limited in. Yeah, it would have looked way better with our ball, right? But that's why we have a checklist for quality of setup. That is why we have it. Good volume coming in now. Question is, do we see an entry before 10 a.m. at this point? Keep an eye on ES as well, up above prior day high now. Some good strength there. I saw your YouTube short vid yesterday. APT did that trade yesterday. I post anywhere from 5 to 7 shorts per day. So I have no idea which video you're talking about. We push a lot of volume to the shorts. $6K in a day. That was this week. Yesterday, was that yesterday? May have been the day before. Yeah, it was the day before. Wednesday. And Q, let's see if we get a pullback here. 15-minute close bullish. Yeah, that opening 15-minute bar looks good. So far, 30-minute looks good. 30 minutes still has 10 minutes on it. And then we get into the data prints. MCS plus jolts. Twofer. That's not that common. I feel like we don't usually have jolts stacked on top of MCS. Isn't jolts usually like a Tuesday? Could be mistaken on that, but I don't think it's usually on Friday, is it? Jolt on a Friday is new. Yeah, that's what I thought. MCS is always Friday. So now it's back into overnight high. So we'll see how this 700 by 740 area is treated. ES down beneath overnight high. No bid yet. So from 600 to 800, wow, 200-point bounce. Man, let's see where our retracements land. So the 50's down there near 700. That's nice. That could definitely be nice. Potential little bounce right here. Let's see if this puts me in. Okay. Mm, Ray caught the scalp. Nice. Good spot. Good spot. BB plus quality with volume. 700 would have been better. Bring this one tick lower. Oh, don't rob me. Don't rob me. Come on. Thank you. Thank you. Not bad. Pretty much a layup trade right there. Like to see a fresh high. Risk management, initial scalp. Yeah, I like to pull some risk off early in the trade. It's pretty much something I've always done. That dates back to very early years with options trading. Just peeling risk off as price proves me correct before moving the trail. So I'm a big believer that risk is dynamic. As price gets to your target, the risk to reward are multiple changes. It's not a static thing. It's static for the 1 second that you place the trade, right? So if it looks like this, if we're targeting highs, well, as price pushes higher, like up here, right? If I don't move the trail or do anything or take off any risk, this is what my risk profile looks like. If I just leave it alone, if I don't do anything. So that's why I peel and manage trades in the way that I do. Because this is always moving. It's not a static thing. Hopefully that makes sense. There's a trail. Oh, saved by the tick. No, there it is. All right. First trade of the morning. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. We have 3.5 minutes till 10, so I'll just wait till post 10 a.m. now. Just doing 3 micros, 2 off at 10 points, letting run a run. Yeah, that can definitely work, right? That can absolutely work. Our multiple is just, I mean, it comes down to math. Like a lot of the trading stuff out there says you have to have 3 to 1, you have to have 2 to 1. That's all baloney. None of that is true. Our multiple is purely a function of math. It's going to depend on your hit rate. But personally, being primarily a self-taught trader, I never focused too heavily on our multiple. Might be a bit unconventional, but it was never a heavy focus of mine personally. Not saying it's the right way. That's just the reality of how my journey has been. So NQ's getting back in overnight high here. I'm cash till post 10. We got one scalp to start the morning. We did about 40 points right there. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Mike, no, it was mostly solo. I read a number of books that were pretty influential for me in the early years. Volume Price Analysis by Anna Cooling. One Good Trade by Mike Bellafiore. The Playbook by the same author. All really good reads. If you haven't picked those up, they're excellent. Highly recommend. And then just a lot of trial and error. A lot of punting options right off the open. A lot of money lost to the market for a hefty tuition price tag. If I could do it all over again, I would have spent a lot more time in a simulator, in a practice account. That is for sure. And I would have taken journaling and trade review way more seriously than I did in those first few years. Like journaling for me in those first in those first few years was like plus 200 today, good day. Oh man. What an absolute waste of time. Jeez. But that's life, right? That's life. So there's 10 a.m. Another little bounce from overnight high. So let's see how this develops from here. We have 700 on watch. We have overnight high on watch. We have decent volume, not amazing. Amazing would be green bars down here. 3XR ball. Dave only lost 200 today. Yeah, the early stages of journaling just comical. I mean, like thinking that's gonna somehow help my game. But that's growth, right? If you can't look back and kind of laugh, or in some cases kind of cringe at what you used to be doing, then you may not be growing. So it's a good sign of growth right there. Double nothing burger. They're back into 24,700. So we'll see how this area is going to be treated. Higher time frame. Let's get a kind of another look at these higher time frames. Yeah, I would not really want to see price slip beneath the 680 area. Just based on how much resistance was here from prior day, right? ES back beneath last week's low. Volume's just not barely coming in at 700. Higher low around 740. Yeah, that the second entry, Rich, would be awesome. Let's see this right here. Maybe. Maybe. Could be a trap. Could be a trap. How would you say ES showed a spring up to the short side? An up thrust at the prior day high? Yeah, you could call that an up thrust. Probably not on the 1 minute, but your 2 minute or your 5 minute. There's a retest of overnight high. We need a reclaim. We need to see price reclaim 740. At least I peeled one off if this fails right here. Mhm. Yeah, the volume. The volume is not helping at all. Objectively, it's below average. At least we're well hydrated. Tell you that. But a reclaim of overnight high, we go for the session highs, 800 basically. Going to need some volume for that, if you ask me. Moto Goyo, I have the Gallon Yeti. I own the Gallon Yeti. I have I have quite a large collection of Yeti products, I'll tell you. And the Gallon Yeti is one of them. That thing is a behemoth, though. Like you cannot carry it around. All right, cracking beneath this structure. Yeah, a little trap right there. Volume was kind of the clue. Went for it anyway. Oh my goodness. There's a stop. So 1 for 2. Thankfully, on that second one, we got a peel. Peeled some off. Really downside level from here is 600, the session low. The session low. Note the volume though. Still below average. We'll test and reject a 700. So at this point, like I said, waiting for 600, maybe a spring setup at the session low, or could technically work with something like this that breaks overnight high and then comes back, or alternatively, stronger push and then a retest at 740, something like that. But that feels like the lower probability option right now. Might just take my green week and have a no trade day today, Josh. It's a good call, man. Good call. ES just marked a session low. FYI, new low of day on ES. Ray can't short 700 either. Volume's below average right now, so I don't think you're missing anything there. B-Link, excellent week. Not going to take any risks. Solid. Good plan. Friday's usually a great day for traders to take off. Decision fatigue has accumulated throughout the week. If you had a tough week, you're not going to recover the full week on a Friday. It's very unlikely that you do. NASDAQ into extended hours volume point of control. Let's see that RTH profile. There it is. So they're just overlapped. Patience key right now. Reached PT earlier, so just got a cheap Apex eval and dabbling around with that for the rest of the session. Nice. That's a good plan. Hit your target and your funded or your personal account, shut it down. Just work on passing evals. Very similar to what I do. It's been down since Funding Ticks died. Yeah, that prop firm just shut down abruptly. That was one of the cleanest shutdowns of a prop firm I've seen, though. I mean, they refunded everyone and actually paid out. So if you're going to do it, that's the way to go about it. Okay, a little bit of a bounce here. Still need to see price show a change of character of this recent step lower here. And then action above 700. Sold right into. A little bit better volume, though. A little improvement in volume. But this is just choppy right here. So far, this is an inside day for regular trading hours. ES is just pounding the lows. Yeah, S&P just fresh lows, fresh lows, fresh lows. Okay, NASDAQ coming into the 600 area again. Downside level of interest. I'll be watching for a potential bounce through there. How's the morning for everyone? Almost 1 hour into the sesh. Cash until 10:30. Nice, I like that. Zero for one, PJ, Albert Cash. 1 for 1 with the small red, 0 for 2. Cash about to log out. Green 3 for 3, 0 for 1, small green. Oh, pretty mixed bag. No trade day, cash. Andre, that's the new rule I'm doing, trading after 10:30. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Roberto 1 for 1, nice. Ethan cash day. There's some movement. 2 for 2, solid. A little bounce from value area low. I still need action above 700. So still need price above 700 and then a structure based entry. It'll go, yo. Watching day so far, solid. Solid. That's something not enough traders say. So that's always good. Look at the uptick in volume. Can price get above the monthly open? 682. Jeff, although 0 for 2, I still have my accounts, would have probably blown them by now before joining here. That's progress right there. That is serious progress. Got to be able to sit with a loss. Have to be able, if you're going to make it long term as a trader, you have to be able to sit with that discomfort that comes with a loss. No matter how long it takes to get to that point where you can just sit with it. You have to get there. So that's good. That's good. Frosty Life. Past second top step with that first play. Nice work. Mike Levin, the limit orders make entries more strategic instead of just smashing button like a DJ. Yeah. Yeah, it's helpful. It's helpful for sure. Always feels like a Newsday Friday afternoon recently, waiting for the one man to say something that makes it go up or down his strategy right now. I think he was just speaking. I'm pretty sure. So not much movement. But yeah, I agree. There's definitely headline risk in this market. Always have those stops in play. Don't use mental stops in this market. No mental stops, hard stops, hard stops. If you need to put an additional buffer, that's fine. But mental stops in this market is, I mean, you're asking to get liquidated, honestly. Some of these candles, if you don't have a stop in the broker when the news hits and it's that move is against you, you're done. You are done. It's over. All right, Ray. Take care, man. Have a good weekend. Limit orders and overlook game changer for me too, Jeff. Are a lot of people just smashing buy market? Is that what most are doing? I had no idea. I had no idea. I've pretty much have always used uh, limit orders to get involved, buy stops. One of my tilt triggers was missing the entry, so I smashed the buy button. Yeah, that's a chase right there. That is a chase. So NASDAQ still struggling with 682 right here. That's the monthly open. I like it as a reference point. We just have some consolidation near volume point of control. Clean this up. Dave, my keyboard was a piano. Oh, man. Well, I'm glad it's not anymore. That's good. Bitcoin up 5%. That structure is looking much better on Bitcoin. NASDAQ, here we go. 700 being retested. Give me some volume. Come on. And rejected. So test and reject at 700. All right, Josh, take care, man. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. Getting a little choppy through here. Choppy, choppy. Critique looking at RTY. See RTY. RTY right near the weekly open. Up. It perfectly filled the gap. Bounced from prior day close. RTY. I'm still watching 700. 24, 700. Then I want to see a break above with some structure for an entry. It's the game plan right now. The GP. Notably, NQ could not get back into 600. Bounces versus value area low. VWAP right through there as well. Wow, Pratik, you're getting paid huge right here. I hope you're still riding that. Nice play. Nice trade. Nasdaq just shy of overnight high. So let's see if an entry materializes. Do you have a preferred AI platform? Opus 4.6. Crushes everything else, if you ask me. Just shy of that overnight high. Gets back into 700. This might be a little too shallow to actually see any structure through here. Oliver Lopez finally started futures trading, joining the dark side. Man, long time no see. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Critique, nice trade, man. That was killer. That was a great trade. So NQ looking at 700. No entry through there so far. Just kind of back into this consolidation structure. It just rolls right over. Rolls right over right there. Crypticon, you still in here? I just saw your email. NASDAQ just right back into value area low. So I'm waiting for 600. 600. Okay, so we're getting more clues of today's structure. Value area low holds as support again. A little intraday structure point right through there. All right, value area low right here, VWAP as well, but less focused on that given context today. And just another nice bounce. So are we going to see a structure kind of like this for the day? Tradable range, maybe, maybe, maybe. So far, I'm still just 1 for 2 on the morning, just kind of staying patient here. See if we find another entry. It's basically a break-even day. BE. Yeah, PJ, I'm with you on that. I would like to see a little expansion, but working with the hand that we are dealt. This is still an inside day. Keep in mind. Okay, breaking below value area low. Let's see a new low of day. Let's see that 600 trade. Maybe a little intraday spring setup. Crack the low, crack the low. Okay, there's your new low of day. So did we get the bounce or not? Did we get the bounce or not? Let's see. That's out of view. There you go. Down in there. And actually, I like to give this a little bit more buffer. Go. So that's the trade. Session low, spring setup with the level of interest. Decent volume, not amazing. Not amazing, not 3x. But that's where my edge is at. So this will likely be last trade of the morning. Win, lose, or draw. So far, not a great look for spring. New low of day, probably get the stop taken here. And there it is. Good attempt. I'm happy with it. No regrets. We are 1 for 3 on the morning. Small red day. So really beneath this, we're looking at a prior day low. PDL. And here comes extended hours value area low. Look at that daily bar, big doji on the daily. So prior day lows, your downside reference, selling starting to accelerate now. All right, Ethan, take care, man. Have a great weekend. We will see you Monday, sir. So some volume coming in. The small overnight gap is just about filled here. Prior day close is at 531. And then you have prior day low just beneath that 520. So I'll be looking at reaction to prior day low. We've got some decent volume here. ES has closed the overnight gap. Good volume coming in right there. $600 being retested. So to re-engage with 600, I'd need extension above and then a retest with structure. We're almost into 11 a.m., 10 till 11. Good volume. Good volume. Just need an entry. Need better trade location and an entry. There's a test and reject of 600 and NASDAQ making fresh lows. Oil showing a bit of a rally. Strong inverse correlation with indices this week, anyway. So, like I said, what I want to see here is how price responds to prior day low, which is just beneath current price point, 517. See the volume? That's good. That is good. All right, here we go. PDL coming up as we get into 11 a.m. NASDAQ big bearish 30-minute bar. You have ES coming into prior day low right now. ES swept prior day high, now into prior day low. So that's going to look like a big bearish engulfing bar potentially on ES. on the daily. NQ no bid at prior day low. So no longer an inside day. And like we shared earlier, beneath prior day low, it's that 440, 400 area, which at this point is not far off. 490. Looking at that overnight profile. Yeah, all the volume from the overnight sesh is overhead. Volume coming in. Yes, sir, PJ. Yes, sir. 11 a.m. in 2 minutes. So that next 30-minute bar will be opening up. Look at that 5 minutes, just waterfall. Cascade. Fresh lows. There's 11 a.m. Boy, that overnight low is going to be interesting. 400 coming up. 470 right now. And we have good volume. So we still have good volume. I want to see how that 440 area, 440 down into 400 is going to be treated. Not far off now, 475. Staying patient right now based on volume and trade location. Definitely looking for another entry if we see it. That can either involve the 400 by 440 zone or up above prior day low with structure. But volume really telling the story right now. Feels like it'll play around the overnight low, but move lower. Let's see, beneath overnight low, I'd be looking at last week's low, 350 area. A lot of support in this zone from the past few weeks. So keep an eye on those higher time frames. All right, Pratik. Thanks for your time today and this week. We'll see you. We will see you Monday, sir. NASDAQ still watching prior day low. Either prior day low or down into 440 by 400. Right now, still just 1 for 3 on the morning. No real update. Right there. All trades per plan and within framework. NASDAQ volume remains pretty solid, above average. So now I like to see a reclaim of prior day low and then a retest. And that may present an entry. Look at that 30-minute. There's a little look back above prior day low, 517. See if an entry materializes. Matt, you in there? You in there already? If you get out the lucky gallon Yeti, maybe we see a climb up over the day's high. Yeah, I may have to dust that thing off. I'd do it. I'd do it for a break of prior day high. All right, there we go. Just a little micro retest. Not my favorite. Where is this thing? There it is. And let's look at, are we already into the first shallow fib? Probably. The 23. Yeah, up and through the 23 already. So I like 600. Check that. Okay. So we'll be 2 for 4, whatever happens here. It was a very aggressive entry. I'm more inclined to protect it quickly. If it means it's just a scalp, so be it. Oh, there it is. All right. We'll take it. We'll take it. 526 to 560. Matt, nice work. Nice work. Nice work. Made you green for the day. Solid. Heck yeah. Oh, trail to the tick. All right. I think we call it right there. I'll keep an eye on prior day low for potential second entry. Of course, watching all the other levels of interest 24 600, 24 440 by 400. We have good volume right now. So, no reason not to continue watching. As of right now, there's still a small red day. But overall, a pretty nice week. We'll take it. We will take it. I hope you guys had a solid day and a solid week. Thanks for your time today. We'll be live on Monday morning. So tune in then. Otherwise, have a great weekend.